You may be thrown off right now because I am China and this is Craig.
Wait, I'm Craig?
Yeah. But,
okay.
But you're on my side and I'm on your side.
I thought I was China for
Don't adjust your
second
televisions.
But I thought okay. I'll adjust my brain.
Adjust your brain.
Okay.
Back to being you.
I mean, we're watching 25 of the supposed best Christmas movies from the internet that we've never seen, but we're going to change the list up a lot as we go, and it'll end up probably just being movies we feel like watching that are Christmas movies.
Yeah, I've already made a substitution that is probably not anywhere rated as one of the best Christmas movies of all time, but I want to watch it. So
we also watched 8-Bit Christmas.
Right,
and we've also watched a couple of movies that I have already seen.
Yeah, so you know what? Mm-hmm. We're watching 25 Christmas movies, and it's whatever we want because we're grown-ups and we make our own choices.
But it's informed by some lists on the internet.
It's informed by some lists on the internet and also stuff we've seen and people we've talked to.
Yeah. Kind of like how you consume anything in life based off of information you get.
Yeah. We're watching 25 Christmas movies based off of information we got.
Yeah. Or thoughts we had.
Or thoughts we had. Or... No, that's it.
That's it. But the thoughts we had were also based off of information we got. So, anywho.
How's your day?
Pretty good. Pretty straightforward. I woke up, played with our daughter for a while, ate food. Our daughter napped.
The end.
I planned using my Reminders app. I started using the Mac Reminders app as well as the Notes app. I'm getting real planny, but also with just the basic apps that come with Apple stuff. Mm-hmm. And I've discovered that those are just fine. Mm-hmm. Actually, really good.
Nice.
Most of the time. This is sponsored by Apple.
Not at all.
Not at all.
In no way.
No, in no way.
Well,
but most of what I do, or all of what I do, is brought to you with help from Apple.
Yes, but not like sponsor help, just like products you bought. Also
with help from Adobe, not sponsored as either. Also with help from Canon. And
you're just plugging so many brands.
I'm just acknowledging that products are used to make things.
Yes, you're right.
And now I'm watching a movie with you.
No, we're just kind of sitting here talking.
We are just kind of sitting here talking, aren't we? Mm-hmm. Well, so we're getting down to the wire on this list, and partly why I said that, we were changing the list up is because I'm seeing a lot of movies I'm like not that excited to watch.
Yeah, that's the thing. If we're not having a good time, what's the point?
There are several on there that I am excited to watch.
There are several that we already watched that I wish we hadn't. I wish we'd watched other ones or replaced them, but it's too late now.
There is one that I'm excited to watch that you've never heard of that you probably aren't that excited to watch, but we're going to watch it.
Right now?
Yes.
Which one?
It's called Comfort and Joy.
Oh, yeah.
1984.
Right.
It is by the director Bill Forsyth. He's Scottish. He did a movie that's also not very well known from the 80s, I believe, called Local Hero, which I love. I've only seen it once, like 20 years ago. I have not stopped thinking about that movie because I love it so much.
You haven't stopped? You've been thinking about it every second.
That's why I seem so distracted most of the time.
Oh.
In fact, I don't even know the words I'm saying right now because I'm thinking about that movie.
It's all coming together.
It's such a simple movie.
Is that why when in our wedding vows you were like talking about like I thought you were saying that I was your local hero, but I guess you must have been talking about the movie.
That doesn't make any sense. You weren't. I mean, you were local at the time, but
I lived in the same.
But you weren't from that town.
Well, yeah, but I'm local. I'm local to where we live now, even though I'm not from here.
That's true.
Are you saying that I'm not your hero?
You're definitely my hero. I'm talking about the movie again. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's a real problem for me. I'm glad this is out there. I'm glad I finally told you about this.
I think we need to get off this video and call a therapist or 2 or 5.
Mm-hmm. No. So it's anyway, that movie was good. He's done he did a heist movie that I'm also gonna watch for a screenplay I'm doing research for, and another movie I'm watching in the middle of called Breaking In, starring Burt Reynolds. He directed it. He didn't write it. It was written by John Sayles. But anyway, this is all outside of this. We're gonna watch Comfort and Joy.
Yes.
It's about rival ice cream vendors around Christmas time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I love at Christmas time when it's nice and cold outside? Ice cream.
Yes, you do.
And rivalry.
Yeah. I didn't know anything about this movie until looking up lists of Christmas movies. This is what you want. You want to discover stuff that's great.
Yes.
You don't want to discover stuff that's bad.
Yeah, we've already done some of that. So let's see
well,
if this
that
is
wasn't
great.
even discovered. Those were very well-known movies.
Ah.
Yeah, and this movie's well-known in some circles, I'm sure, but not this circle. So we're going to watch it.
Okay. But first I'm going to make you move a dresser.
Yeah, we're going to move a dresser first. Because we bought a dresser.
Well, here's the thing is that our kid has a dresser in her room. It came with our house. It was here when we bought the house, and we just left it and used it.
Yeah.
But the drawers don't move very easily, and so she can't, like, get her own clothes and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I want to buy her a new dresser. And I did a lot of online shopping, and I was finding things that were very expensive that I liked, or cheap that I didn't like, or cheap that I did like, but it was of questionable quality and, possibly wouldn't hold up very well. So I was like, well, there's this thrift store nearby that has good furniture selection. So I'm just going to go over there and see what they have. Take my measuring tape, just check it out. And I walk in, I'm looking around, I'm like, I don't know. And then I turned a corner and I was like, and there was the perfect dresser. And it was the perfect size. And the drawers move smoothly. And it is sturdy. And was not that much more expensive than the cheap IKEA dresser that I was considering. But is real wood and vintage and more unique and cool looking.
You're my local hero. Again, what were you talking about? I was thinking of a movie. No.
I love you.
I love you.
So help me move this dresser before a kid wakes up. And then we'll probably end up just watching this movie later, because she'll probably be up by the time we get the dresser in.
We might not even ever watch it.
We might not do any. We might just sit and think about Local Hero.
Okay.
Because now I can't stop thinking about it, and I've never even seen it.
It's your favorite movie now.
It's my favorite movie.
Yep. Okay, let's move a dresser.
Okay.
Moved a dresser.
Isn't it cool? You can't really see it. Look at the detailing. Can you see that?
Yeah. Okay, you nap right there in that very weird position.
Okay, I'm gonna just...
And guess that's just me watching this one this time, you guys. Happy Christmas to me. Good night.
I'm sleeping. Shh.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
It was very absurd. It's so good.
Goofy, silly.
Tense, though.
Tense.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Scottish. Fun.
It was, very fun.
Full of saxophone music.
Oh my gosh.
80s.
So much saxophone.
80s smooth music soundtrack, which I thought was fine.
It was just, you don't hear that a lot.
Yeah.
These days.
That's true. That was great. That's exactly that's what the way I hope every movie is when I start watching it.
Yeah, this is definitely among the very best of the movies that we've seen so far.
Yes. So you enjoyed it as much as I did?
I did. It took me a little while to feel invested in it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I enjoyed it as much as you did.
Yeah. It's exactly my humor. It's just goofy.
Yeah.
And shocking. Things would happen really suddenly.
Yeah. Well, I liked the second half better than the first half. I was more invested then. But also, I'm noticing a trend, and I'm wondering if it's just the way that some of these movies are. But, where I'm less interested in the first half, but I am more invested in the second half. So I'm wondering if it's the movies, or if it's the fact that, we're watching usually the first half, during Ada's nap. Mm-hmm. When I don't know. And then we're watching the second half after she goes to bed. And I wonder if that maybe plays a role.
That probably plays a role, but also I feel like you've always been that way with movies.
Well, that's true.
You fall asleep. You've historically fallen asleep to a lot of movies. And I think it seems like your entertainment of choice is television or stuff you've seen before.
Yes.
Or both.
Yes.
And with a movie, the challenge, since it's one contained story, is it has to set everything up and get you invested.
Yes.
Which takes a little time. And so a lot of movies, it does take time to get invested. I remember when I would show you movies, or we'd watch movies I hadn't seen, and you'd fall asleep before the payoff. And I'd be like,
every time.
You missed it. The whole reason we sat through all of that is paid off later, and you've slept through that part.
I just couldn't help it. I just couldn't. Yeah. I mean, I physically couldn't stay awake. And it's so weird that now I can.
Yeah.
Now that I'm a parent, I think I'm just tired anyway.
Mm-hmm. You just accepted the feeling of being tired.
Yeah, so most of the time I don't fall asleep. Mm-hmm. Whereas in the past, before we had a kid, when we would watch something, I would fall asleep almost every time. Almost 100% of the time. But also, we were watching stuff later.
That's true.
Yeah, so now when we watch something, it's 8 o'clock or whatever. Whereas before, we would go out and do something and then come home and start a movie at 10:30 or something.
I was a late.
Yeah.
I was a sleep later.
I know.
Late sleeper.
See, I should have.
That's not the right word for it.
That was always my bedtime. Mm-hmm. Just naturally. I just wasn't going to sleep then.
But you'd see all these movies, you'd probably be like, man, that wasn't good. That wasn't good. Because you sat through the work you have to do. And then you didn't get the payoff.
Yeah. Well.
This movie, I think it sets it up pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. Although it took a little while, because you had told me, the premise of the movie earlier. Yeah.
And it takes a little while before you see...
Oh, yeah.
Before that becomes apparent. And so I had totally forgotten. And I was like, oh, this is just a movie about, this... radio guy whose girlfriend leaves him. Yeah. And it's going to be about that. And then the ice cream truck shows up and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. This is about ice cream rivalry. But the whole ice cream stuff
and the ultimate resolution is so much more satisfying because of all the setup of his relationship and life problems early on. Mm-hmm.
There was the whole thing with him, he was going to make a documentary piece, and that never comes back up again.
I think he didn't need to anymore. He just realized at the end.
Yeah. He mentions it, maybe I'll turn this into something, but, you know. But then it just, after the resolution, he doesn't go back. They don't go back and show him,
But he was basically doing, a podcast, a podcast series, long before there were podcasts. Yeah. 1984, ancient times.
Ancient times.
Anywho, I highly recommend this movie. I enjoyed it. Yeah. If you like my kind of humor, and if you're sticking around here, you probably do. I think you might like it. Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's it for me. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I I now want to watch Local Hero as well. Similar. It makes you feel similarly. It's similar humor.
Yeah. Well, I could fall asleep to that.
Okay, let's start it.
Okay.
Bill Forsyth is great. And he's still alive, but he stopped making movies a long time ago. He needs to go back. Oh, he did. Like, I think his last movie he made is supposedly not that good. And I think he was probably like, I'm done. Mm-hmm. I don't know. He should come back.
Call him.
Okay, I'm going to call him. Anyone know Bill Forsyth? Tell him that I think he should make more movies, or maybe he can help me make movies.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to, if I do, when I do eventually make movies, they're going to be just like Bill Forsyth movies. Okay?
Like identical?
Yeah, I'm going to just remake shot for shot.
You're just going to plagiarize?
Yeah.
Heavily.
Well, no, it's going to be a remake, shot for shot remake. They do that. Usually, like the movie Psycho, they did a shot for shot remake of Psycho.
Yeah.
And apparently, I didn't see it. Apparently, it's not good, which is, it's weird to me that you can say it's just not good if it's shot for shot remake. It's just exactly wouldn't it be exactly the same, which is also kind of not good, I suppose. But I don't know. How did they do it badly? Anywho.
Call him and ask.
Okay. I'll call up
them.
Gus Van Zandt and Vince Vaughn.
Is it a Vince Vaughn thing?
He was the Psycho in the shot for shot remake.
I have never. This sounds like something you're making up off the top of your head right now.
I know everything.
I think you're lying. I think that this is made up.
Nope.
I'm choosing not to believe this.
Okay. Anywho, I don't know why we started talking about a shot for shot remake of Psycho when we're talking about Comfort and Joy, a 1984 Scottish movie. But let's be done.
Good night.
Good night. Looking forward to Miracle on 34th Street. How about you?
Oh yeah, I'm ready for that one.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Me too.
It's gonna bring me some comfort and some joy. You know.
Mm-hmm. Way to somehow bring it back a little bit.
Comfort and joy.
Bye.
Bye.